So episode 120 actually had a lot to decompress. So I wanted to go ahead and talk about it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new. Let's go ahead and talk about episode 120 of Dragon Ball Super. So first and foremost, I can say and I can assure you without reasonable doubt that I am not going to remember all the miniature robots' names. It's just not a thing. I could have took notes, but I was like, you know what? I like to try to keep these natural and just, off the top of my head whenever I talk about the episode and give my thoughts on them. Because again, it's just something I do just for fun. But anyways, to talk about it, I really did enjoy, right? I enjoyed the episode because it was a lot of Gohan, and I've been waiting for Gohan to do something. It kind of felt like it was Gohan's final payoff, meaning I don't really know if Gohan has much left in the tank after this. He launched a full-scale Kamehameha. He said this is his full power, etc., etc. Gohan needs that spontaneous ability to just regenerate stamina like Goku has been just, blatantly exhibiting in this tournament. If you really think about it, Goku's legit just been able to, again, replenish his stamina repeatedly. And you don't realize it because it's happening like once every couple of episodes where he's, not really getting back up to full strength, but getting to where he's able to use things like blue again, which is supposed to be a really big drain when you stay in that form for a period of time. But and he also used 3 in there for a little bit whenever he was fighting Kale and Caulifla. But, Goku keeps doing that, and it's like, well, bro, it's only been 5 minutes since you did that 2 times ago. So hopefully Gohan can do that, right? Because Gohan, I don't really know what he has, because Gohan's quietly been fighting a lot of fights and looking pretty beat up. And that's one thing I was saying about Piccolo for a while, is Piccolo just started looking like he was getting beat up a bit. Like, he just looked like he was tired. Gohan probably is really, really freaking tired. He also wanted to fight this so Goku and Vegeta didn't have to, so they wouldn't be tired, right? But ultimately, they still wind up jumping in anyway, so it's kind of like, what even was the point? Because Gohan couldn't handle it, apparently. So you get my point. It's a weird thing that Dragon Ball Super is actively doing, because that's also not something that they did in Dragon Ball Z. Right, and maybe it's just because, maybe it's just because he was like literally just in Super Saiyan 3 trying to replenish his stamina, which is like kind of counterintuitive because it obviously drains massive stamina. I don't know. It's not something they did in Dragon Ball Z. Case in point with the fight with Kid Buu, my interpretation on that was Goku, had he waited a little bit, had he been able to replenish his stamina like he's doing here, right? He would have been able to go SS3, but in that, he just couldn't even do it. He couldn't even do it. Like, he was like, oh, I don't know what's happening. It should have been working by now. He couldn't do it. So that's just me. It's not that big of a deal, but it's something that I would love for Gohan to get, that same, like, plot armor. Because really, nobody else has said that they've got their stamina back but Goku. I'm just going to put that out there. Just anyways, I don't actually care, but it's just, food for thought, something to think about. And maybe you feel a little bit differently. That's perfectly fair. So anyways, moving on from that. Again, I love the episode because it was a lot of Gohan. There were a few wonky shots, but for the most part, though, the animation, art, it all looked pretty good for the most part. There were, again, few wonky shots in there with Gohan. And then at the end, when the Kamehameha was done, Vegeta was looking so proud like it was his son or something. And you couldn't even see Gohan's eyes. Whenever they went back to base after they finished that fight there. So there's just a few little moments in there. But all in all, it was pretty good. Another thing that I really did enjoy was Android 17 and 18's team-up assault. I thought that was really neat because that's something that we've wanted for a long time, is seeing Android 17 and 18 actually fight together. And, they did it. Excuse me. They did it previously in the fight with like Ribrianne and stuff like that, and they teamed up a little bit, not really. They mainly fought individually, but you get my point. They had shown flashes of it, but in this one, they go ahead and just fight the same guy together. Viria, something like that. He was the guy that's supposed to be like this massive tank, and his whole plan was, he wound up being completely inconsequential, but his whole plan was, hey, I'm gonna let you guys beat up on me, and then when you get tired, we're gonna fight you, and I'm gonna kick your butt because you're tired, and I have like this enormous ability to just block and be a wall, basically. So the problem with that is, you went up against the androids. They don't get tired. And that, unlike something else I said earlier, is actually something that was active in Dragon Ball Z. Whenever Piccolo fought against Android 17, they were basically deadlocked power-wise. They were basically even. But the problem with that fight was Piccolo was getting tired. And Android 17's like, hey, yo, I'm not getting tired, bro. So, yeah. And it's funny, too, when you think about it, because it's like, oh, Android 17 is like, and Piccolo trains every day, I would assume, too, when he's not watching Pan. But Android 17 is like 30 times stronger at this point, right? Because Dragon Ball Super is weird. But anyways, so aside from that, I did enjoy that. Now, I didn't really like the idea of Dr. Pepperoni. I feel like I don't really know. Maybe somebody else told me, like on Twitter, I think it was The Truth. Shout out to that guy. I thought, I tweeted and I was like, hey, what even was the point of establishing that one rule where it's like, hey, you guys can't bring foreign objects into the arena? You can't use weapons, and Pepperoni has his staff, and not even that. There was a few times, and Roshi included, where Roshi had the, the gourds for the Mafuba and things like that, and it was like, what even is the point of this? Really, it sounded like it was just, like The Truth said, just, I guess, to stop them from using Senzu beans. It was plot protection from Senzu beans, pretty much, which would have been the most OP thing in here, because Senzu beans are one of the most OP thing in just the whole Dragon Ball universe next to the Dragon Balls, but that's a whole other topic. So it's just really interesting to me because this guy has this staff. With this staff, he's able to force them to merge and do all these other things, and he's going to show more abilities with the staff in the next episode, and it's like, oh, you're not supposed to be able to use that. And it's like, the glasses thing, I don't know if that's considered to be an extension of yourself, but glasses can't even be loosely interpreted as a weapon, but somehow Krillin used them as a weapon by being able to shield his eyes from an attack. So it's really, really, like, I don't get there was no point, really. The only point I can really think of is the Senzu bean thing, and maybe to devalue killing. That's about it, because that rule just gets continually broken. And again, we don't really see him actually use the staff, like, physically and hit anybody with it. But it's also within the realm of possibility that maybe he hit somebody throughout the entirety of this tournament with that staff one time, right? And that makes it innately a weapon, but he's using it, so it doesn't count. It's unfair, right? And also, kind of on that same vein, Frost. Remember Frost, how he tried to shoot from the outside of the arena, and then they eliminated him, and then, like, somehow they were able to donate energy to Goku whenever he was Ultra Instinct? No, he was trying to do the Spirit Bomb before he went Ultra Instinct, and that counted somehow. Zeno just doesn't care, but he sometimes cares, and it doesn't make any sense. That's just my thing. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of point that out, because that's one thing I did have as a gripe in the episode. All in all, it's a really minor thing. It's just something I wanted to float out, because it's like, well, what even was the point? Like, I don't mind it, because at the end of the day, I know Universe 7 is going to fight Universe 11. It doesn't matter, right? Universe 3 is inconsequential. They don't matter. It's just like, again, what was the point, man? So you guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below as far as that goes. And kind of just wrapping up, like I said, it did really feel like Gohan's big payoff moment, and not really in vain with, like, the stamina and whatnot, like I was talking about previously, but because Gohan has had the moment there, he had the moment whenever he was fighting, with Piccolo a little bit. Prior to that, in the previous, like, episode or so, he had a couple of other moments earlier on in the tournament. Gohan is, he's gotten a few spotlights in there, and I can be happy about that, but really, it's going to come down to Goku and Jiren. So I'm just interested. And the next episode preview kind of looks like 17 may get eliminated. I don't know. But it really just seems like they threw every single universe, most of the universes, at Universe 7. And it's kind of dumb that they did that, because really everybody keyed in on Universe 7, but it was smart because at least we got to see the characters. Because if Universe 1 fought against, I don't even know who all is even in this. I don't even know if Universe 1 was exempt or not, but it's just, for example, if Universe 1 fought against Universe 6, maybe we don't get to see that because they're not the main characters, right? Or Universe 2 or whatever versus Universe 11, maybe we don't get to see that. So that's why they did it, but it just kind of was like, everybody got thrown at them, and here we are again with another universe that's just definitely going to be eliminated, getting thrown up against Universe 7. Last little thing that I did enjoy was the tag attack, the tag team attack, and I loved Vegeta, because I don't know if a lot of people caught it, because Vegeta said something that was 100% out of character. The man said, hey, they used 3 people, they all merged into one. All 3 of us can take that thing down, no problem. Basically is what he said, to paraphrase. And I'm like, wait. When did Vegeta become one for teamwork, yo? Like, he was just like, yeah, we all can do it. And they all fight together. They launched the Gallic Gun and Kamehameha again and all that stuff like they did earlier on the tournament against Bergamo and those guys and stuff like that. And I'm like, when did this guy, like, he's totally changing. And I thought that was awesome. They both created an opening for Gohan to launch his full-scale Kamehameha. And last little thing before we get out of here, Beerus's respect, man. Like, Gohan got Beerus's respect from this episode. He stopped calling him kid. He said, oh, excuse me, Gohan. Like, is that something else that's going on? Like, I just gave myself the chills a little bit. Is that like an underlying theme of this tournament? It really makes me wonder, and I'll probably do a separate discussion on this. It really makes me wonder, like, what's the end game for this? What's going to happen after the tournament? because everybody is seeming to get Beerus's respect. We saw it with Roshi. We saw it with everybody, man. So really, something's going to come out of this, and I feel like they're doing that for a reason. Maybe Beerus becomes more friend-like with the cast and stuff like that, even though he kind of is, but tries to act like he isn't. I don't know, man, but that's something that you should kind of keep your eyes on. I definitely will myself. So anyways, that's it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this review. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode as well. Again, it was a pretty good episode. I can't recall if it was last episode, but one of the episodes, like last couple of weeks, was pretty just eh. I thought this one was action-packed. For the most part, looked pretty good and was well choreographed. And there were a couple little things, but really, I talked about them. I spent some time talking about them. Don't get me confused. They were not big deals to me. They were not big deals. They were just something I wanted to talk about and kind of just voice my opinions on. And again, maybe you guys disagree. That's perfectly fair. That's what we're here for as a community. Anyways, thank you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take it easy.